It's Creator the Conqueror here. Sometimes the most subtle difference lies in the intention. Power lies in the intention, in the intent. And really it boils down to there's being intentional or doing things on a whim and going with the flow, etc. And sometimes both are okay. Sometimes with me, the intention came behind going with the flow. Personally, I've always been very intentional, but sometimes it just doesn't always seem like things align that the way that you want them to or you envision them. And that's also okay. Because with humans, one thing like in the movies they've said when it comes to like robots and AI and aliens is we kind of fear the unknown. But I've learned personally doing things on a whim versus being intentional is the subtle difference that means all the more power behind whatever it is that you intend to do. Basically, it's your focus because the power lies in the intention, because the force that you put behind something, the level of seriousness, the level of commitment, what you're willing to endure and undergo. Because with any journey, many journeys, gonna have children, we're gonna plan to start a family. I'm going to become the best player at this sport. I want to get this degree and then go into this field in XYZ. I'm going to the gym 4 days a week so I can XYZ. Now, with all of that stuff, we say that's good. What happens along the way? Stuff in between that you can't control, you cannot foresee. Because one thing you'll learn is you can read every book you want to read, you can meditate, and you know what I'm saying, you can affirmation this and positivity, all that's good and it's cute. But until you are in it, until you are immersed in it and doing it, you have to just figure it out once you're in it. You could watch every video and study every podcast, and until you're doing it, you don't know. You just have to sometimes do it to see, okay, all right, well, I learned from this podcast or this book. I think this is what they did, so I'm going to try to, does that make sense? But the power and the intention behind this is the course I'm setting on. We just talked about in another video that building trust with yourself is synonymous with God. If that's you have to become secure in the fact of knowing that if it's meant for you, you'll get there anyway. If it's meant for you and you have the willpower and the dedication behind it, you'll get there. But there may come situations where you have to pivot, or like I said, stuff will happen. You have to adapt, learn, and grow, etc. It's a reason why people that have done wonderful things in the industries they're in, once they get to a certain level of success, they get hired as consultants. People pay them because they have boots on the ground experience. They have combat or literal combat experience and navigating all of that stuff that comes with the XYZ. But the subtle difference, because all of that stuff sounds good and there are people who just are going on a whim, and I've been one of them. I'm gonna just go with the flow and see where it takes me. But when stuff came, I was like, it's getting hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, very, very, very plainly cut. Like, let's think about one thing we can all relate to, a relationship. I like you, you like me, let's just see where it goes. And then it starts getting hot. You're like, I don't know, because I don't even know how far I saw this going in the first place. But the intention behind, no, I don't know what it is. That's the one. I think we're willing to see how we can endure through all of that. And then on the other side, that intention is the power, the fuel behind it. That's the only difference sometimes, because the power lies in knowing that when you intend to do something, the level of commitment, what you are willing to sacrifice, the amount of dedication, the adjustments you need to make, etc., 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 will help you navigate the process, which can break people. Because I don't know if whatever force is over that is meant to, but it happens. To be honest, I don't even know if this is a real thing, but I've heard it. Like, people want to get these competitive majors and they go into it, you get accepted. And then you're in lecture halls, 200, 300, I don't even know if it's more than that, students. And it's, a gen ed and stuff like that. And the class, I've heard, is called a weeder class, where it weeds whoever really wants to do this is going to weed you out from those who are just going on a whim. And then you start to see in the semester those numbers cut down, seats start getting empty because things happen. And not to make it seem like that can't be a part of the plan, but with anything you can endure through. So, to wrap all of this up and summarize, success in anything, the subtle difference, what I'm alluding to, is it starts with a decision, a choice, and then the intention behind it is intertwined with the decision, the choice. And whatever the path is, because it can go in many different directions, there is no linear path to anything. In my opinion, it only starts with a decision, because you cannot stumble your way into anything. In my opinion, the power lies in the intention.